It's a really good place to start. We fixed Alexa's audio, and then we're going to start the YouTube.
Meeting is now streaming live. Hello, Town Hall.
It's not Town Hall.
Town Hall greater than Taylor Hall? Question mark.
Oh my goodness, Taylor Hall, 2nd round pick.
Yeah. And now already discussing extension with Boston.
Is this true?
I thought I'd read that somewhere.
Yeah, he said something that, well, he had a no move clause, and then people are coming out saying that he only moved it for Boston, so that's why the Sabres were limited. And
the clause is back. No. I mean, does he still have the clause if he's already in Boston?
well, he's moved to Boston, but he wanted to move to somebody that he could, sign with afterwards, I guess.
Gotcha. Makes sense. All right. 2 things need to happen. I need to stop eating, and we need to hit the record button on the actual pod. Right now, we're just on the tube. Alexa's looking good, though. How's the golf before I get into it?
Golf this weekend was pretty good. I got new irons, so I'm still figuring out the distances, but I still played pretty decently.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take this phone call very quickly? And if you want to start without me, I'll be right there.
No, Alexa and I'll just talk golf to get back. It's really captivating pod.
Yeah, because last was it maybe 5 weeks ago? I went and got fitted for new irons.
That's pretty good.
And then I got
Where
them in the mail 2 Mondays ago.
Nice.
So this weekend was really the first weekend I could play all weekend because my parents were here last weekend. So
okay. You like them?
You bought a new wedge and a new something.
A new 50 and a hybrid.
What hybrid did you buy?
4.
Okay.
A Maverick.
Did you have a 4-iron before? And then
I used to have one, but I couldn't hit it.
Yeah. That's what the hybrids are made for. So.
Yeah, that's why I got it. Because I can hit my 3-wood really well. I can hit my 5-iron really well. But I cannot hit my 4-iron at all. It's awful.
Yeah, the 4-iron is where it starts being tough to hit irons.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I don't have a 3, so.
Yeah, because I have a 3 hybrid and I still have a 4-iron.
Mm-hmm. When do you use that though? What distance is that for? It has to be a certain position too, right?
Yeah, so
my across the ground.
I guess off the tee I can hit it probably 210.
Oh well, that's helpful. So if you needed to hit 210 and wanted to kind of stop.
Yeah, well, usually with that, it's playing with it kind of dying because my ball flight's kind of high, so it just kind of drops down a little bit.
So you're lucky. Okay, so you already have
Yeah, I'm not hitting
high trajectory
of the green. It's going down high, so it'll still roll out a little bit, but
yeah, that's cool. Was it a tournament you played in, or what was it?
No, I was just playing with my buddies over at Shaker.
Okay.
Just our group of guys that I normally play with.
Oh, cool. You meet them through the club?
Yeah. I didn't know any of them before joining there. So
cool. That's kind of cool. How long have they been there for?
I think most of those guys have been there longer than me, and I've been there 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one other guy, he's probably been there a year or two less than me. So it's all guys that have been there a while. So we've known each other a while.
Cool.
Did the Wild trade for anybody?
I don't think so. Let me see.
I don't think so. I'm just trying to brush up quick on.
They've been in a run of playing the Avalanche, and I don't like watching that because they always lose. So Scott Lawton signed 5-year contract, $3 million per year. Isn't he a goalie? No.
No, Scott Lawton's, is he like a third line center on the Flyers?
Yes. That's why they're talking about him. Madison Bowie. I didn't realize Bowie was even in the league this year.
Who?
Madison Bowie, the D-man.
Oh yeah, he got moved today.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was on a team. Last I knew he was on Detroit. Now he's on Chicago, traded to.
Yeah. Sabres are just stacked up on draft picks, but there are no additional first round picks.
Yeah, that was. Who else did they move besides Hall?
Well, they traded Eric Stahl like 2 weeks ago to
Montour,
Montreal.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think they got a third and a fifth for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they traded Brendan Montour to
Yesterday.
Florida
2 days
for
ago.
a third, I think.
He'll be in the lineup Thursday.
Nice.
For the
my-
quarantine?
No, well, I think that's what it was. Yeah. So I mean,
Mhm.
he's an integral cog on my Yoffs or Yoffs 2 team that's gunning for not getting eliminated.
Beautiful. I'm currently in the elimination spot. Or one of them. All right, let's get started. Bill, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem. It's time for the Empire Hockey Podcast. We've been live on YouTube for a few minutes, so that might have been awkward for the people who are watching there, but that doesn't matter because we have Bill, owner of the Washington Capitals, with us. Bill, hello.
Hello.
And we have Ryan Alexin, the owner of the recently eliminated Buffalo Sabres, joining the pod. And I know it's a tough time for you and your franchise, but Alexin, thanks for coming on.
Thanks. We're currently seeking tea time. So any tips, any courses to play, let us know.
All right, well, I'll ask Alexin for the golf playing tips because I want to play some golf too. But that's not the point. My team's still in the second Yoffs along with Bill's. So a couple of folks that are probably not the best to be talking about being good at fantasy hockey right now, but that's okay. Bill and Ryan, because we run this podcast. And Bill, what do we have going today?
As from a hockey standpoint, there's kind of a lot going on because there was the real life trading deadline, and we now have locked ourselves into the final 4 matchups.
This is true. We'll go over all of that. Let's start with. You want to start with players of the week, Bill?
We can do that. I mean, if Jordan Binnington wants to get recommended or mentioned, this is the time to mention Jordan Binnington, even though I think Sharts is long eliminated. He was the best fantasy producer from a point standpoint last week, I believe.
He was. Well, let's take a look at. This is not everyone, so this won't help.
How about
He was, yeah. You're staring at the same thing I am. Okay.
well, how about Detroit getting 25 points out of Rupe Hintz and either I don't know who he played in goal, but 21 from Hudobin or 20 3/4 from Saros. There you go. That helps Detroit.
Have your choice. Well, he's moving on for a reason. Or moving on, or yes, moving on. He had to move on.
Yeah,
Because there's no way he was
watch from my end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alexin, for
But
that.
that's what I mean. It's just one of those that has to figure type things, if you know what I mean, where like,
Right.
okay, if you get beat, you get beat. But okay, Rupe Hintz is, 25.
That's, yeah.
I'm not saying Rupe Hintz can't be a productive, player, but yikes. It's almost like fate is against you at that point.
Well, Rupe Hines, while he was good, he was not one of the forwards of the week, Bill.
Well, he was up there.
Yeah, he was 5th. And we're talking about players of the week. Bill's trying to hijack the pod already. I love it.
What? You can't have 5 forwards of the week?
We're having 3. We've always read the Gritty Gazette, Bill.
I do.
Okay.
It's appointment reading.
It's time for the forwards of the week. And coming in at number 3 is Patrice Bergeron of the in real life Boston Bruins. Bergeron plays for the Empire Hockey Association Tampa Bay Lightning, who are also in the non-Yoff double Yoffs for teams that did not make it.
Yeah,
37
also
points for him.
the highest was he the highest or was it? No, it was Canucks. Never mind. So Tampa though put up 179.
Jeez, yeah, that's a lot. A lot to not be in the regular playoffs. Brad Marchand, number 2, also in real life Boston, but he plays for the Philadelphia Flyers in the Empire Hockey Association, who are playing this week against the number 1 seed Chicago Blackhawks. 27.5 points for Marchand, and then the top forward of the week plays for in real life Toronto, and in the Empire Hockey plays for the Jets, the Winnipeg Jets. Austin Matthews, 29.75 points, is 9.92 per game, 6 goals on the week. So solid all the way around for those guys. They used to be in the same division, not this year, of course, with the COVID-related alignment of the league. Any thoughts on the forwards of the week, Lexon or Bill? They
The
have
list
no
was
thought.
great.
This was a great list.
None of
I
my
agree.
guys, but they did great.
Top three defensemen. Bill's just laughing. Top 3 defensemen, and I would not have guessed one of them from the in real life Islanders. Ryan Pulock, 15.75. Bill,
Yeah,
he did some offensive things.
he did, which is sort of uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah. Number 2 is Adam Fox, who continues to do this type of thing. 16.25, a modest 1 goal and 3 assists in 4 games. So he's cooled off considerably. But that was a joke. He's still a point per game defenseman, which is pretty solid. And number 1 is Chris Letang, 16.5 points per game for Pittsburgh. He continues to go run rampant here in the second half of the in real life season. Unfortunately for somebody, actually not unfortunately, he's playing for the Jets in the postseason. So you see a lot of playoff players here going right now, Bill. Philly and Winnipeg having some of those top guys who are in the actual Yoffs. That probably speaks to their success, maybe potential success here.
Well, and Cale Makar, I know we're only it's frowned upon. We're only allowed to do 3 defensemen of the week, but if we were to go into honorable mention, Makar had 15.25, and Rasmus Ristolainen had 15.25 too. So, and those are helping 2 playoff teams because Makar and Letang are both on the Jets, so that's helping Winnipeg.
Not to mention, Bill, the number 6 defenseman of the week, Brian Dumoulin.
Yes, for the
also
Canucks.
in Vancouver.
Yes.
Wow.
Love it. Given the
Bill,
spread in the we're spreading the love.
Yeah, Bill's gonna make a great parent because all his kids are gonna get trophies for being the 6th best kid or whatever.
You're assuming I get to have a kid one day.
You do.
Yeah.
All right. Top 3 goalies of the week, Bill. Your boy, Vitek Vanacek. 26.5 points, 3rd best goalie.
I do want to make a declarative too. I figured now is the time. He's been in my minors the entire season, but I have activated him for the 2nd round of Yoffs too. So we're going all in here for Washington because I figure now is the best time as any to activate the best player on my team from my minors.
Vitek, activate.
Well, Carey Price is also injured, right?
Yes, he got dinged up in some way. They think he may or may not come back. And Eunice Corpusalo is now to the point where I'm going to not keep him, and someone will pick him up next year, and he'll be like a 6-point-a-game goalie for them next year. So that's just sort of how it is at this point for the Capital goaltending situation. So I'm just honored to have Vanacek in the starting lineup this week.
Nice.
Well, yeah, in a related move, Keith Primo's son was called up by Montreal, Caden Primo, to, I believe, the taxi squad.
Yes, because of Price.
Yes, because of Price, right. So,
Yeah.
Caden Primo went to, I want to say Northeastern. Yep.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Left after, I believe, his sophomore year, maybe his junior year. Don't quote me on that, but he is hopefully that for me personally, owner of Caden Primo in Empire Hockey Association, the next Montreal goaltender, although he does have some competition as you would expect. going forward. So we have that, Bill. We finished the goalies of the week. I know Bill made his awesome, proclaimment that Vitek's going to play. We love that. We love when good players play. They don't get their service time held in check by the ownership. Connor Hellebuck is the number 2 goalie of the week, 27.5 points per game. And then Jordan Binnington, as Bill mentioned, 30.25 points per game, the top overall scorer and the top goalie of the week.
All but getting Sharks into the Yoffs 2 tournament.
That sounded dirty, but was accurate. Okay. We move on to let's get to the matchups before we talk about trade deadline, Bill.
Let's do it.
So our number 1 seed and carrying a bye into the second round was the Chicago Blackhawks at 32-2. They will take on the aforementioned Philadelphia Flyers. Philadelphia in the regular season finished 10th. They are the lowest remaining seed. Thus, they take on Chicago 20-13 on the regular year. They had a great playoff matchup, though, right, Bill?
They rolled Houston. Jelly got beat by 50 points in that matchup. Kind of fascinating that 2 Washington Capitol former goalies were the matchup in that fantasy matchup because Varlamov, former real life and EHA Capitol goalie, got 16 for Philly, and Grubauer, who's been we'd been talking about as one of the best goalies in the league all year, pulled a negative 8.5 for Houston in goal this week. So there was a 24-point swing just in goal. But you mentioned Pulak already, and you mentioned Marchand, and those are 2 of the big point producers for the Flyers this week.
So Flyers, not the matchup you want, but you don't have much of a choice here. Taking on Chicago, a team that was sitting last week. Alexin, you've had the bye before, if I remember correctly, first year. No, we didn't have byes the first year, but you've had playoff success. What does it take to win the playoffs in the Empire Hockey Association?
The biggest thing is to stay healthy. And obviously this year, the additional element of COVID. Also, you need a healthy lineup. I think in the chat, you mostly hear Quebec. He really hit a snag there with, I think he had maybe 4 players on Vancouver and Marcus Foligno go down and all before the first round.
Right.
Health and good goaltending is the key, like regular playoffs.
I love that. I love
just
that.
as important.
I will bring up the counterpoint to that, though, briefly. I have been incredibly healthy all year. I think I've only had max 2 guys on the IR all year. I have also had terrible goaltending. So I'm the complete opposite of that strategy. I've been healthy all year long. My team just sucks. So you have to have some semblance of good on your team and a fusion of health, like Ryan said.
Love that.
Point production is good.
Yes.
Scoring points is good. Flyers Hawks, the first matchup. Second matchup is a matchup of fellow Buffalonians, right? Is that right, Alexin? Buffaloans?
Buffalonians?
I thought it was Buffalonians.
Buffalonians.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Oh, sweet. All right. We have Justin and Josh, who are playing here. Red Wings against Canadiens. This is going to be a bloodbath, right? Both these teams are playing well, and hopefully Canadiens have all their guys back from Vancouver.
Yeah, Detroit went in with momentum into the postseason. Remember, they were kind of rolling pretty significantly. Former Washington Capitol Darnell Nurse helping solidify the defense on that team too. I think Zaka got him like 19 points this past week too, so that was big. But Canadiens too had 150 or so on the bye last week. The thing that's interesting, I don't remember who Montreal is going with in goal. I think he had Cal Peterson, maybe. I don't remember.
Right now he's got Cal Peterson in the goalie starting slot.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
It's 7 o'clock, so you can assume that's accurate.
Yeah.
Peterson's been good. I mean, the other two don't have consistent playing time, so I guess I can see it.
Yeah, just Peterson had a rough week this past week.
Oh, I see. Okay. We still put a big number, so he hopes that stays that way. That's the overall the number 3, based on totally on record, not with divisions. Number 3 team in the league, Detroit, and the number 7 team, Montreal, separated by just 6 points. I know they're not in the same division, but that should be a very good matchup there in our second grouping. Our third matchup of the 4, we have Vancouver and Winnipeg. This is kind of a, Canadian matchup here all the way around. You got, a couple of our obviously original owners. We haven't lost too many owners. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, you got 2 guys that have been in the league the whole time and put some successful teams on the ice. Both Vancouver at 21-12 in the regular season, and Winnipeg Jets would have been the talk of the town at 28-5, if not for, of course, for Chicago.
Yeah, 2 really good teams.
Yeah, I mean, and Winnipeg, they had the bye last week with Vancouver needing to win to get in, but they
Vancouver was the highest point producing team last week. They beat Quebec by 80, put up 191 points. Draisaitl, Marchessault, Pavelski, Fiala, Smith, Robertson all had like at least 12 points, if I remember right. So Miles Wood, Dumoulin, they just were getting points left and right. And so that being said, though, Winnipeg has Matthews, Letang, Makar. The defense is pretty darn good. Should be a good matchup. Taylor Hall, we will get to the trades eventually, but Winnipeg is on Taylor Hall is on Winnipeg.
And he also has Anthony Mantha.
Wow.
Another trade acquisition.
Part of all the trades. All right, last matchup is a pair of former RPI club hockey players. We have Rusty and Bruce. That's the Penguins hosting the Anaheim Ducks, who now have a new television show on their side. That could add a little bit to the matchup here, but Alexin could speak to this because he played with these guys. But club hockey's obviously a pretty fun organization, and they've had you create a lot of camaraderie with the guys that come through there.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these guys were in my graduating class. Rusty was my roommate. He actually stopped by last weekend on his move to Ohio.
Oh, sweet.
Stopped by for lunch. Maybe that will give him some good luck the rest of the way through. Bruce did not stop by for lunch anytime recently.
He hasn't left California.
No.
As far as
too
I
much
know.
in and out.
It's a good matchup of guys we know, as we say. But someone's got to lose it. That's unfortunate. Bruce was the de facto champion last year, winning the regular season and not having really a playoffs. And we have Alexin here. So if your last chance, I believe, for another club hockey guy to take home the title is relying on Rusty here.
Pretty much, yeah. Just a new RPI champion. Rusty's our last hope here. Unfortunately, he still has he has Jonas Johansson in the goalie slot, which has me very worried for him, just in general.
But and he had the
Freddie Anderson is injured. He doesn't really have many other options. But.
Well, Swayman is alternating there in Boston, right? Is he the timeshare guy right now because they're all hurt?
I think Swayman did play.
He did
this weekend.
Well, I don't think he was he's whoever the guy was. Well, the guy that Boston played last night, they gave up 8 to Washington, was not Swayman. I remember that much. So maybe it's swaying towards Swayman in Boston for the week. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that was my Miners goalie, Vladar.
Yeah, Vladar is who they played last night, and it was just not good. That's good. Good scouting report of my Miners players. Well, no. Vladar had been playing well. It was one of the last night wasn't that the Caps are that much better than the Bruins 8-1. It was just last night was just it blew up on them sort of. But Johansson is coming off a shutout. He shut out the Ducks last week. So that's kind of fascinating because Grubauer, remember, go figure, Grubauer was like -8 for Jelly in a loss last week. And Johansson had 21 points in a win here
Oh
for
yeah,
Pittsburgh.
they put him against the Ducks both games. He went 14.75 and then 8.25. Maybe it makes a difference about what the team quality is playing in front of you as a goaltender.
Right, getting out of Buffalo in this
as the
case.
Sabres, he had a good game and then a -3.25 and, back and forth. All right, maybe Rusty's onto something there, Johansson.
Well, but perhaps picked up out of necessity simply because I think he had the other backup, Colorado's other backup, whoever that had been, whose name is already escaping me. The guy that was in the playoffs. Yeah, Francouz. Yeah, and they were like, we can't play you anymore, and so they went and got Johansson, and go figure. So, yeah. And with Anderson hurt, he doesn't have any other options.
And it's kind of ironic because on Bruce's roster, he has plenty of options at goalie. So it's like 180.
All right, that's the matchups. I think we've gone over them pretty extensively here. We'll watch them all week. It's exciting.
I think we were boring Perry there because Perry's like, are these guys done talking? Like, can we go on? Yeah.
No. I was enthralled. I just we got to keep this thing moving.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Let's talk about his toss matchup.
I don't actually want to talk about. There's no matchups yet either, so we're still in the the 14 teams just duking it out against each other for a top spot there. Okay, so top 8 there. Where are we? Oh yeah, let's go to the trades, Bill.
Okay.
I'll mention a trade and you just give me your gut reaction. Alexan too. All right, here we go. Let's start with April 9th because I don't want to go back any further than that. Maple Leafs get Riley Nash from the Blue Jackets for a 7th round pick in 2022. Bill, do you care?
No.
Alexan?
No, I don't really either.
Okay, done. Avalanche get Patrick Nemeth from the Red Wings for a 4th round pick in 2022. Alexan? Do we care about Patrick Nemeth?
I had Nemeth on my team for like 3 weeks 2 years ago.
So did I.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about Nemeth.
Bill?
He's on the Penguins who are in the playoffs.
I love that about you. Okay. Panthers receive Brandon Montour from the Buffalo Sabres for a 3rd round pick. Bill?
Huge for the EHA Capitals. Montour's been on the Capitals all year long and has been sort of switched between reserve and active. He's active now, and he's going to help try to push them into Yoss too.
I love that. Alexan, this is your IRL Sabres.
Yeah, I think hopefully he'll get, a little more stability and point production for Bill here coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Alexa's not concerned about the actual Sabres.
Well, I guarantee you too, Montour's that type of guy that I'll probably not. I almost didn't keep him this year, which I certainly shouldn't have kept him. But I won't keep him next year, and he'll go somewhere else, and he'll do great.
All right, the Sharks trade Devin Dubnyk to the Avalanche for Greg Pateryn and a 2021 5th round pick. Start with Bill.
Well, I guess that is somewhat concerning. That why would if they Avalanche already traded for Johansson and they just played him twice last week, and they have Grubauer, and now they have Devin Dubnyk. That's a lot of goalies. What?
No, it's true. Obviously, I love it.
Like, why would they have a lot of goalies now in Colorado, which could be bad news for the fantasy matchup we just talked about. I don't know.
Yeah. How about all these guys are former Wild within the last year and a half?
Also true.
Pateryn got traded to Colorado this year, and Dubnyk got traded anyway. I think he might have been a free agent. Anyway, next trade, starting with Alexan. Lightning receive David Savard and Brian Lashoff. Blue Jackets get a 2021 1st round pick from Tampa and a 2022 3rd round pick from Tampa, and the Red Wings get a 2021 4th round pick. Now, Lashoff is from, I believe, Troy, New York, or thereabouts. I'll find that out. But reaction to the trade.
It's nice to see a 3-team trade, and I think there is more than one at this trade deadline. And it's pretty much just, teams with a lot of cap space helping other teams out and just, hey, give me a pick and we'll eat $1 million or $2 million. But, smart on the Lightning, building up, reserve defensemen because,
Right.
It's never a bad thing to, have some veterans in I guess, would be on the taxi squad to be called up in case of any injury going forward.
Bill?
When I saw Savard in the Slack had been traded, and it was that tweet or just text of Savard, I thought somehow that 43-year-old Mark Savard was still in the league somehow. I've never in my life heard of David Savard.
All right. And Lashoff is from East Greenbush. That's exactly where Lexon lives.
Wow. I'll hit him up.
Hit up Lashoff some playoff tickets. Okay.
Isn't there a coach named Blashoff?
That's different. Lashoff. Sorry.
Oh, Lashoff. Okay.
Brian Lashoff. I saw him running the stairs at RPI's athletic facility once. And I said, "You look familiar." And he said, "Yes, I'm Brian Lashoff." And I said, "That's who it is." That's not exactly how the conversation went, but in my head, that's how it went. All right, next trade, Bill.
Yeah.
The New Jersey Devils receive Jonas Siegenflother for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the Capitals get a 2021 conditional third-round pick.
My thought on it is it's he's a good depth defenseman. He's young, he's controllable. He's actually a good acquisition, I think, for New Jersey because the Caps had too many defensemen, which is a weird problem to have. But my recollection now of Siegenthaler is that I decided not to keep him on my fantasy team in the offseason. How many times do I keep saying this? But then he got picked in the first round of the minor league draft. I was like, oh man, I would have totally tried to trade him or get some value for him. But I don't remember who claimed him, but somebody drafted him in the first round after I just chose not to keep him. So
that's probably Phoenix.
Yeah, might've been. I don't remember. So,
all right. Alexan, do you care about that trade? Probably not.
Siegenthaler is fun to say.
Yeah.
Good. Alexan, Canadians get John Merrill from the Red Wings for Hayden Verbeek and 2021 fifth round pick.
So when I saw this, is Hayden Pat's son?
Has to be, right?
Has to be. Yeah. I'll confirm, but yeah, go on thinking that he is.
Well, seeing that Hayden is going to the Red Wings where his dad played and, won some cups, I think that's pretty cool. And then John Merrill heading to the Canadians who should be in the playoffs. So it'll be tough, whatever matchup they get first round, but good for him.
It's big for the EHA Golden Seals too.
All right. Well, I'm having an awful time looking this up. So we'll move on to the next trade, which is Nick Foligno and Stefan Noisen to the Maple Leafs for 2021 first round pick. Jackets get 2021 first round pick from Toronto and a 2022 fourth round pick from Toronto. Sharks get a 2021 fourth round pick from Toronto. So Jackets get a first rounder and a fourth, and the Sharks do just a fourth, and the Leafs get Foligno and Noisen. Bill?
I think my second favorite tweet I saw all day was that somebody had tweeted out that Tortorella had already benched the first round pick he got in the trade. So I'm going to go with that.
That's good analysis. Alexa?
Yeah.
It'll be weird seeing Foligno in Toronto because I feel like he's been, a staple for the Blue Jackets for so long. But it'll be fun. He's a good guy to root for. I think it'll be fun to see him make a playoff run.
All right, Alexa, you start first here on this very amazing deal. Former Minnesota Golden Gopher Mike Riley goes to the Bruins. Senators get a 2022 third round pick. Why should I care about Mike Riley as a Bruin?
It's a good question.
Okay. Bill, I'll ask you the same question.
I don't know who Mike Riley is.
All right, next trade.
But he got a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, not bad.
He's a young D man, good skater. Not very physical.
He's on the Canucks in EHA.
I wish he was on my team. Yep, he's cheap. He's $1 million. Maple Leafs get David, big save Dave Riddick. Flames get 2022 3rd round pick. Bill.
If David Riddick can get a 3rd round pick, then I might get a 6th if I was traded to a team.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Alexin, your quick reaction. We're going to fly through these until we get to the cool ones.
I think, I don't know. Kurt, you love David Riddick so much because you tried to trade him like I think last year.
He was hot. He was big save Dave last year. He was good.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Freddie Anderson's injured, so might as well add a little depth behind Campbell, even though Campbell's playing very well.
Awesome. Brayden Coburn to the Islanders because they need more D. Maybe some injuries there. Senators get 2022 7th round pick for Brayden Coburn.
Who is on defense for Ottawa, since it seems like they traded all 6 defensemen in the last week?
Bill may be playing D for them for a 6th.
Well, I think I am. Brandstrom had been even demoted again for a while, but I guess they have him back up. Not that I would know from my fantasy team, but I think he's actually playing again.
That's true. That might be good news for you, Bill. Brandstrom might be full time now since they traded 2-3 defensemen.
Yeah, big for that second week playoff push in Yas too.
Try and get another top pick, Bill.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Bruins get forward Taylor Hall and forward Curtis Lazar for Anders Bjork and a 2020 round 2nd round pick. Bill, is this enough?
Was it when you overbid or whatever on the Price is Right? The horn, that's the horn noise. That's my reaction.
Okay. Alexin, what do you think?
What do you mean? The Bill or the Sabres overbid or got underpaid for I don't know.
It was just the sound he was going for, I think.
Yeah.
Not the
because
meaning of the sound.
I'd say this trade is like the equivalent of the one person on the Price is Right that just says $1 and ruins everyone else's day.
It's a good analogy. Okay. We don't need to dwell too long on that. Penguins get Jeff Carter for a conditional 2022 3rd round pick and a conditional 2023 4th round pick. Who knows if there's going to be sports in 2023, Bill?
Yeah, it's I hate the Penguins.
Cool. Alexin.
I feel like Jeff Carter's been in the league like forever.
Oh yeah.
So it's a def ad there for the Penguins run. So I don't know. I don't hate it.
It's the classic move that he'll score the first goal in the playoffs for the Penguins. You just know it'll
he'll
happen.
score some random goals, but they'll be important.
Goals.
Yep.
All right. Blackhawks get Adam Gaudette from the Canucks for Matthew Highmore. Bill.
Highmore. That's what, the people that smoke, it's what they want to do. They want to get Highmore.
In Vancouver, nonetheless.
Yeah, there you go.
Alexin? Adam Gaudette. He used to be a thing, right?
He used to be a thing. Was he on the COVID list or no? I forgot to look at that. If he was, off of it and able to be traded, or if he was still on it and traded. But I'm assuming he was off.
Yeah, I don't know. You trade someone on the COVID list.
Well, it could be an interesting tactic by NHL GMs if they trade COVID-infected players to other teams and in effect to infect the other team. If it's like a rivalry thing, that could be interesting. And then like infect other teams and bring down their performance. Could be scandalous.
Trojan horse thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's a weird one from Bill. I love it. Let's move on to the Lightning get Frederick Clausen. The Sharks get something named G. Mangus Krona.
Clausen's good pickles. I love pickles.
G. Magnus Corona, Alexin.
Yeah, I looked it up because Sharks was asking what's a Magnus Corona earlier.
What is
And
it?
apparently he played for the University of Denver. So he's an NCAA guy, Perry.
I should know then. Oh, that's probably why he asked if I knew. Okay. Wonderful. Oilers get Dmitry Kulikov. Devils get conditional 22nd round 2022 fourth round pick, Alexin.
I just laugh anytime there's an Oilers Devils trade ever since the Hall Larson trade. So
Right.
Yeah.
Kulikov, or we'll figure it out later.
Golden Knights get Matthias Janmark, Nick DeSimone, a 2022 fifth round pick from Chicago. Blackhawks get 2021 second round pick from Vegas, 2022 third round pick from Vegas. Sharks get 2022 fifth round pick from Buffalo. Buffalo's pick. They're not involved in this trade, thank God. All right, make anything of this, Bill.
Jan Mark's a pretty productive winger, especially EHA. I don't know who owns him. He was on the Capitals in the EHA last year, and he was a star last year in real life, and now now we went from where? Chicago to Vegas.
Yeah,
he's wanted.
That's good. Alexin, any thoughts there?
Nick DeSimone went to Union.
Oh, that's right. I knew that sounded familiar. That's a good tidbit. I loved it. All right, Avalanche get Carl Soderberg. Hawks get Josh Dickinson and Ryder Rolston.
Another big move for the EHA Capitals. Soderberg in the skater spot for the Capitals. Soderberg, recent acquisition, has done okay off the bench for the Capitals and now is eager to perform well in Colorado in that YOS 2 playoff push for Washington.
Alexin?
It's interesting to see Soderberg going back to Colorado after being away for I think only 2 years.
Oh, that's
This is
right.
true.
Interesting. Yeah, good point. All right, Sam Bennett and a 2022 sixth-round pick goes to the Florida Panthers, who are buying. Flames get 2022 second-round pick and Emil Heineman. Alexin, anything there?
I did not know who Emil Heineman is, and I know Sam Bennett, was kind of a disappointment for the Flames. So hopefully the sunshine helps him out.
I mean, it helped my guy. He actually wasn't bad, but
Yeah, your forward guy.
yeah, who am I even talking about? Carter Verhaeghe. Thank you, Perry, and the internet. Yeah, it helped him. Maybe it'll help Bennett here. That's what we can only hope. Bill?
Whenever I hear Bennett, I think of the movie Commando and Schwarzenegger going, "Let off some steam, Bennett," and that's about all I remember.
That's actually really good.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
It's actually a really good point, Bill. Canadians get Eric Gustafson from the Flyers for a 2022 seventh round pick. Bill?
Might as well just called up a guy from the minors.
I agree. Alexin?
Yeah, kind of the same.
We all agree. Awesome. Maple Leafs get Ben Hutton, defenseman. Ducks get 2022 fifth round pick. Same thing?
Any relation to Carter Hutton?
Don't think so. Alexin?
Okay.
Don't believe so.
All right. Predators get defenseman Eric Goodbranson. Senators get defenseman Brandon Fortunato and a 2023 seventh round pick. Alexin?
Again, this is, I don't know, maybe good for Bill because it's another starting defenseman from the Senators leaving. Goodbranson's actually on my team.
There you go.
He's pretty good at blocking and hitting. He doesn't really do points, so he's all grit.
That's a Bill kind of player.
Yep. Ottawa was pretty Fortunato to get Fortunato in this trade.
Beautiful. Sharks get Alexander Barbanov. Maple Leafs get Antti Suomela. Bill?
Former Capitals minor leaguer Suomela. All I can say is close shave America, close shave Barbashev.
Alexin.
That was perfect.
Perfect. Ducks get Hayden Fleury to surprise the slack. Hurricanes get
Yeah.
Yanni Hakampa and a 2022 sixth-round pick, Bill.
I dropped my phone when Sharks put that in the Slack. I was like, oh my God, what has just happened? Why are the Ducks getting Marc-Andre Fleury? And that's not what happened.
Yeah, he scared everyone.
Yeah.
Alexin?
Yeah, unfortunately, I looked at Trade Tracker before I went back to Slack, so I knew it was Hayden, but I was laughing that, some thought it was Marc-Andre.
Bill, Capitals receive Michael Raffle. Flyers get 2021 fifth-round pick, a Vegas pick.
Yeah, it's a raffle pick.
Alexin?
Another one of my players getting traded here. Hopefully he can help Bill's in real life team. He didn't help me last week because I had him on my bench.
All right, Alexin, the Jets get Jordy Ben. That's not the one maybe they think they were getting. Canucks get 2021 sixth-round pick. Are we sure they know they were getting Jordy Ben?
The wrong J Ben.
Yeah.
J. Ben. Oh shoot, wrong one.
Yeah, could be.
Which will still never live down the infamy of the Svechnikov and EHA situation.
Someone has to do a full review.
It's like a 30
that.
for 30 there.
It is a 30 for 30. Yeah, I agree. Canucks get, I didn't know he was still in the league, defenseman Madison Bowie. And a 2021 fifth-round pick. Blackhawks get 2021 fourth-round pick. Bill.
Bowie, a former Cap. I remember him from the Hershey days. Yeah, I didn't know he was in the league either.
Bowie, I apologize. Alexin?
Well, he was worth bouncing up one round for the Blackhawks, so he was worth something.
And our final trade of the trade deadline weekend of sorts, Capitals receive Anthony Mantha. Red Wings receive Jacob Vrana. Richard Panik, 2021 first-round pick, 2022 second-round pick. Bill.
Great return for in real life Detroit.
You like all those pieces?
Well, I like it for the Capitals in real life, and that I think it was LeBrun that had basically said it's kind of two trades. They needed to get rid of Panik, who they had just jettisoned to the taxi squad. So they're really giving a pick to Detroit for them to take Panik's salary. And then it's Mantha for Vrana and a pick, which, if you're the Caps, I guess it's a good upgrade. I know that Laviolette had soured on Vrana. Vrana is actually, there was a stat, I think, lowest time on ice of any player with at least 20 or 25 points or something like that, because he was only getting like 9 minutes a game because they were just throwing him out there and he was still scoring because he was that good offensively. He was just not good defensively. So it will be fascinating to see. But if you're Detroit and you get rid of an asset, that's, I think, a pretty good return if you're Detroit.
Alexin, anything to add to that? That was pretty much.
Yeah, no, I think Mantha's a good ad for the Caps. I think if he gets paired with one of their top centers, I think he could do some real damage for them. It's unfortunate Detroit's trying to build up and they traded away a young guy, but they've got a pretty decent return for him coming back. So maybe it'll work out.
Yeah, those are some interesting trades. No real. There's a few blockbusters, I guess, but they weren't for anyone that's actually playing particularly well, right? Like it's some guys moving because it wasn't working where they are, not necessarily because someone's trying to add as much, right? That's what it feels like to me, a lot of these trades.
I will say too, like there was, I guess, rumors that like Carolina was debating about moving Laine, which I thought was I thought that was fascinating to see.
Yeah.
That would have really been something. That would have been Taylor Hall times 2 there in terms of, we're going to trade him after we just got him.
Alexin, you thoughts on that? Just kind of like there's some good players, but it wasn't like anyone being traded as an absolute stud to a team that's trying to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, there was really nothing like that. And there's no real, I guess, storylines of, like some veterans other than maybe Nick Foligno,
right.
Getting put onto a cup contender. No real moves like that. I'm still pretty disappointed in the return for Taylor Hall, but I'll get over it eventually.
Don't blame you. Yeah, we got some playoff hockey. All these matchups look pretty fun. Which is your guys' matchup of the week before we get out of here? In just the Coupal Cup. Speaking of, not the us other folks.
I think for me, the one I'm really keeping an eye on is Canucks and Jets. I think that's going to be a real, barn burner between those two. And then obviously for a personal detail, I'm keeping pretty close eye on the Ducks Penguins series.
Good, yeah. Good grudge match there.
Which at the time of recording is already 12.5 points for the Ducks because he's gotten a goal from Suzuki and a goal from Brady Tkachuk and an assist from Shabbat already.
All right, that's pretty nutty. All right, that's something to watch. Obviously, every point lead helps in the long run here. But we're looking at what, 170 at least points to win. Is that what we're looking at here? Second round. Is that what we're feeling?
That's probably safe.
I think 170 would be a safe number because I think the 4 winners last week were somewhere in that range.
A lot of games being played, a lot of points to be had. Final thoughts before we get out of here, Lex. Thanks for coming on the pod again and talking some fantasy hockey with us.
Even though, I told you I didn't have a lineup to set, so I had some free time before the game started at 7. So happy to be on with you guys.
We'll get to those games very soon. Bill, final thoughts here. We got 8 teams left in the playoffs, the actual offs, and seems like it could be anybody's game, although obviously the Blackhawks still the favorite.
Well, yeah, and things will just literally flip-flop back and forth because Kevin Lankinen's already given up a goal, so Anaheim's already down to 10 points. So just watch your matchups accordingly, grab the popcorn, and enjoy it.
All right, that'll do it for us. Empire Hockey Pod. We will see you next week when we're down to 4. Exciting times in the Empire Hockey Association. See you later, everybody. And that's a wrap.